There is a place on Earth where the land soars, valleys plunge, and peaks scrape the sky. This is rural Nepal. Here the world feels untouched, ancient, and impossibly grand. The mountains rise like silent guardians, their snowy crowns glinting in the early light, while deep valleys cradle rivers that have carved their way through stone for millennia. This is a land where the horizon is never flat, and every turn reveals a new wonder. Here, life unfolds above the clouds, far from the rush of modern cities. The air is crisp and thin, carrying the scent of pine and earth. Villages perch on ridges, their rooftops sometimes lost in swirling mist, as if floating between heaven and earth. The pace of life slows, and each day is shaped by the rhythms of nature. Imagine waking to the whisper of Himalayan winds and a view of snow-capped giants like Annapurna or Everest. The first rays of sunlight paint the peaks in gold and rose, and the world feels impossibly vast. In these moments you understand why so many have journeyed here in search of meaning, adventure, or simply a sense of awe. Villages float on a sea of clouds, their daily reality set against a backdrop of staggering beauty. From every window the view is a masterpiece: terraced fields, distant peaks, and the ever-changing sky. Life here is shaped by the land, and every home tells a story of resilience and adaptation. But this journey is about more than landscapes, it's about the people. The heart of Nepal beats strongest in its villages, where tradition and hospitality are woven into daily life. Here, every greeting is warm, every meal shared, and every guest treated as family. Faces etched by the mountains, smiles as warm as the sun, and a harmony with nature built on generations of respect. The elders carry stories in their eyes, and the children's laughter echoes across the hills. Their lives are shaped by the seasons, the land, and a deep sense of community. They teach us about community, joy and simplicity, and the quiet strength of living close to the earth. In the fields, neighbors work side by side, sharing both burdens and celebrations. Evenings are spent together, telling stories, singing songs, and finding happiness in the little things. So come with me, let's leave behind the noise and climb into this ethereal realm. As we ascend, the world below fades away, replaced by the silence of the mountains and the promise of discovery. Each step brings us closer to a place where the spirit feels lighter and the mind clearer. We'll walk winding paths, breathe pine and rhododendron, and listen to stories on the mountain breeze. The trails are alive with color in spring, and the forests echo with birdsong. Along the way we'll meet locals eager to share their tales, their wisdom, and their way of life. Above the clouds, life is challenging yet deeply rewarding, a sanctuary and a source of inspiration. The work is hard, but the rewards are many: breathtaking views, a sense of belonging, and the peace that comes from living in harmony with the land. This is your invitation to see Nepal not just as a destination, but as a home. A place where you are welcomed, where every sunrise brings new wonder, and where the mountains remind us of the beauty and resilience of the human spirit. Villages here cling to mountainsides, houses of stone and wood perched to catch the sun, and breathtaking views. The air is thin, pure, and invigorating. Mornings reveal valleys submerged in a magical sea of clouds. As the sun rises, clouds swirl away, unveiling lush hills and terraced fields. Life spills outdoors. Women weave on porches, men mend tools, children play across courtyards. The line between private and public blurs, creating a constant sense of togetherness. The village soundscape is a gentle symphony. Goat bells, roosters, murmured conversations, and distant chants. Even the thud of grinding corn or a monastery's melody becomes part of daily life. Here, peace replaces city clamor, and the mind finds quiet. It's a world where presence matters more than pace. In this soundscape, you simply belong. In the highlands of Nepal, the day begins long before the sun crests the horizon. In the gentle blue of pre-dawn, villagers quietly gather at the communal tap, their breath visible in the crisp mountain air. The world is hushed, save for the soft murmur of voices and the splash of water as neighbors greet each other and prepare for the day ahead. Here, the morning ritual is more than a necessity. It's a time to share news, exchange laughter, and strengthen the bonds that hold the community together. As water jugs fill, so too do hearts, with stories and support. As the first rays of sunlight spill into the valley, kitchens come alive. Wood smoke curls from rooftops, and the aroma of dal bhat, rice and lentils, mingles with the cool air. This simple, nourishing meal is the fuel that powers a day of hard work, prepared with care in every home. Families gather around low tables, sharing breakfast and gentle conversation. Children with books in hand set off for school along winding paths while adults shoulder tools and head to the fields or tend to animals. Each person has a role, and the village hums with purpose. The rhythm of labor follows the turning of the seasons, planting rice in the terraced fields, harvesting golden crops, or tending to livestock. Every task is done in cooperation, with neighbors helping neighbors, and generations working side by side. The work is demanding, shaped by the land and weather, but there is a quiet dignity in every gesture. Unity and resilience shine through, as hands join together to shape a shared future. As the sun dips behind the peaks, villagers return home along dusty paths. The air cools, and a gentle peace settles over the landscape. The mountains glow in the fading light, and the village slows to a tranquil pace. Evening brings families together once more. By the soft glow of a single lamp, they share a simple meal, rice, vegetables, perhaps a little curry, and stories from the day. Laughter and warmth fill the room, even as the world outside grows quiet. There are no televisions flickering in the background, no endless scrolling on phones. Instead, there is conversation, the crackle of a fire, and the deep, enveloping silence of the mountains, a silence that invites reflection and connection. Night descends with a profound stillness, wrapping the village in calm. Under a sky scattered with stars, homes rest quietly, and the only sounds are the distant calls of night birds and the whisper of the wind. Here, life is measured not by the ticking of a clock or the glow of a screen, but by the rising and setting of the sun, by the changing seasons, and by the steady rhythm of nature. In these mountains, every day is a lesson in resilience, connection, and the quiet beauty of a life lived in harmony with the land and with each other. Tradition here is alive, a daily guide, not a relic. It shapes homes, clothing, and the stories passed to children, blending Hindu and Buddhist beliefs. Hospitality is legendary, a guest is a gift, welcomed with sweet milky chia and genuine warmth. Community is survival. Villagers unite for big tasks in a system called Parma, exchanging labor, not money. Mutual support weaves a strong social fabric with everyone sharing joys and hardships. Elders are revered, their wisdom sought in all matters. They are living libraries for the young. This respect ensures knowledge is preserved and elders remain valued. The spirit of togetherness and tradition is the village's greatest strength. Here, the past and present walk hand in hand. For mountain children, education begins with a steep, determined walk, sometimes an hour or more in all weather. The mountain is their first teacher, building resilience before any lesson is taught. Schools are simple, often built by the community, with scarce resources but abundant spirit. Teachers, often locals, are deeply dedicated, and children's curiosity is bright and eager. Lessons blend standard subjects with local knowledge, flora, fauna, conservation, and the rhythms of agriculture. Education is woven into daily life, teaching stewardship of their fragile ecosystem. Parents sacrifice much, believing education is the key to a better future. The sight of children in neat uniforms trekking to school is a symbol of hope and progress. Here, learning is both a journey and a promise. Farming the Himalayas is a feat of endurance and ingenuity. Here, terraced fields ripple down the mountainsides, each step carved by the hands of countless generations. These terraces are more than just farmland, they are living monuments to the perseverance and creativity of the people who call these heights home. The terraces serve a vital purpose. They prevent the precious soil from washing away during the monsoon rains, transforming steep, rugged slopes into fertile ground. Without them, cultivation here would be nearly impossible and the mountains would be bare. Main crops, millet, barley, buckwheat, and potatoes, thrive in the harsh, high-altitude climate, their roots gripping the earth. Lower down, where the air is warmer and water more abundant, rice and corn flourish, adding to the region's agricultural diversity. The agricultural cycle sets the pace of life here. Planting and harvest are not just chores, but communal celebrations, times when families and neighbors gather, working side by side, sharing stories, laughter, and the weight of the seasons. Water, always precious in the mountains, is carefully managed through ancient stone irrigation channels. These ingenious systems, maintained and shared by the whole community, ensure that every drop is used wisely and fairly. This spirit of cooperation is essential. It reinforces a deep sense of interdependence, respect for nature, and a recognition that survival here depends on working together and honoring the land. Farming in these mountains is sustainable by necessity. Natural fertilizers, careful crop rotation, and generations of environmental knowledge keep the soil healthy and productive, ensuring that the land can provide for years to come. Every harvest is cherished, seen as both a gift from the mountain and the result of months of hard work and patience. Celebrations mark the end of each season, strengthening the bonds of community. In a world increasingly concerned about food security and environmental sustainability, these Himalayan farmers offer invaluable lessons in resilience, adaptability, and wisdom, reminding us that harmony with nature is not just possible but essential. Their way of life stands as a model of balance and respect for the land, a testament to what can be achieved when people and nature work together in harmony. Isolation shapes every aspect of mountain life. Villages are days from the nearest road, everything carried in by foot or mule. This distance breeds self-reliance and resilience, but also brings challenges. Monsoons and snow can cut villages off for weeks, making travel and survival difficult. Healthcare is scarce, a simple illness can become life-threatening, and traditional remedies are often the only option. Yet isolation brings peace, a deep, resonant quiet broken only by nature and village rhythms. Here, the frantic pace of the modern world fades away. In the stillness, people find clarity, connection, and perspective. The mountains teach the value of silence and the strength found in solitude. Despite hardship, mountain life bursts with vibrant festivals. Dashain, Tihar, where families reunite, homes glow with marigolds, and music fills the air. Folk songs and energetic dances are not performances but living traditions that bind the community. Food is central: dalbat, momos, curries, and selroti, prepared with care and shared as acts of love. Meals are made from what the earth provides, cooked over wood fires for a unique smoky flavor. Sharing food nourishes both body and soul, deepening bonds. Even daily meals are special, crafted with fresh vegetables and hand-ground spices. To eat in a Nepali village is to taste the land and the culture itself. Celebration here is a joyful, communal embrace of life. As our journey ends, we're left with more than memories. We're left with admiration for the spirit of those who live above the clouds. Their resilience, community, and joy and simplicity are a lesson to us all. Here, wealth is measured in family, culture, and connection, not money. Nepal invites us to reconsider what truly matters and to find abundance in simplicity. Look beyond the peaks, see the people, hear their stories, and learn from their wisdom. The magic of Nepal is in its people, whose spirit shines as brightly as the snow on the highest summits. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you wish to keep exploring the world's resilient cultures, subscribe and travel with me again. Until our next adventure.